and welcome to Forever Rugby on First Sports for today's preview as Glasgow Warriors host the Lions today in Scotland. And the Lions who are in a bit of an injury crisis with both their fly halves currently injured that they took on tour, which is a massive blow. Jordan Henderson being ruled out for a couple of months, which would have been a perfect opportunity to see Eddie Bashir get an extended run in the Lions jersey, but he himself sustained an injury and is not available for tonight. Quite a few rotations for Ivan van Rooyen in this side, and a lot of firepower coming off the bench, but a starting lineup which might struggle to sort of contend with Glasgow in the sort of early sort of stages of the match. Before we look at the teams themselves, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Lions were looking to try and sort of kick on after the Sharks managed to get their first victory of the tournament up against the Ospreys last night, and I hope that will inspire the SA teams to actually go out there and have a go. At the end of the day, you look at the Lions, they've already gotten their victory on tour, so they can go and try and get at least a point or two out of tonight's game. I think it would be quite a successful tour to date already, because I think we all knew that our teams would struggle in this sort of open touring leg, and things will get a lot better and a lot easier for the sides when we start having home games and stuff like that. But in terms of the teams for tonight, we'll start with the Glasgow side, and mostly just sort of a couple of rotated players, so nothing too serious from the Warriors there. In the front row, Jamie Batty, Fraser Brown, or Dorian McCullum. And then Lewis Bean, it's an unchanged front row there. Then Lewis Bean has come off the bench from last weekend. He partners Richie Gray. Ryan Wilson, the co-captain of the team, will start again. But Rory Dodge has fit once again and comes into the starting lineup. I was very impressed with him in the first week up against Ulster, where he had a very, very good game. And as a Lions fan, I'm sort of worried about him as a very sort of major player to watch. And then Dak Dempsey's been very solid over the last couple of weeks. The halfback combination of Jamie Dobie and Ross Thompson will continue. Very impressed with Ross Thompson last weekend. First time I've really sort of seen a lot of him, and he really did impress with the fly half. It looks like he managed the game very well. Seems to have quite a nice kicking game on him, quite a nice sort of calmness about him as well. You know, one of those players who always seem to have a little bit more time on the ball. Was very impressed with what I saw from him last weekend. Bruce McLean and Kyle Steyn and Cole Forbes will continue to be the back three. Kyle Steyn, the South African, one to look out for with a bit of pace there. In the midfield, a slight change. Sam Johnson gets a new partner in Nick Gregg, with Serena Tupelotu dropping down to the bench. And in the reserve front row for Glasgow, Johnny Matthews, Brad Thyer, Murphy Walker, Rob Harley, Matt Ferguson cover the rest of the scrum, and then you've got George Hall and Duncan Weir, who will be a replacement, probably halfback combination there. Now, speaking of halfback combinations, it's an all-new one with the Lions, who have had to name E.W. FLYHALF at fly half there. Yeah, look, I mean, Evie has had a bit of a strange start to Lions time. I think he's a very talented player. Unfortunately, I worry about him just not having the pace to be able to make that much of a difference. But I do think that fly half, you know, in many ways might suit him, because, you know, he is someone that managed to find a bit of space. Got a reasonable boot on him, but nothing spectacular. I'm a little bit worried about goal kicking tonight. We'll have to sort of see what he is like off the tee. But in terms of the front row, a couple of changes throughout the team. But Steve Tolly gets a start next to Jakob Asaki, and they brought in the experience of Yanni du Plessis, who I reckon will probably get about 45 minutes before you bring on Carly Sardi. It's an unchanged lock combination of Ruben Skua and Peter Janssen van Vuren. We're pretty impressed with Peter Janssen van Vuren, who's come straight into the Lions and looks like he's been playing there for years. Very, very comfortable at this level. It does seem someone who's had to work really, really hard to try and get to this level. Hasn't always sort of played at the top sort of levels. Had to sort of really work hard and work through the system to try and get up to the top, and is now playing the URC, so credit to him. Yakreel Vince-Tuka got a new 8th man in that back row combination as Ruan Australia gets an opportunity. No Frank Horn for this weekend. Andrew Warner is the scrum off, and then in terms of the back line, Raz Makwana as a new wing partner in Steven Pienaar. Divan Rousseau, the former Bulls fullback, comes in at number 15, and Burger Oendal gets a new centre partner in Manuel Rats. Burger Oendal is going to have a very big game today. He's captaining on the side, obviously, and will have to lead from the front. And I think, you know, you look at the side, and our biggest worry is sort of that is the pack. Look, something like Manuel Rats, Divan Rousseau, haven't seen, you know, as much of them as they probably would have liked. Haven't seen as much game time, but they need to try and prove a point here. Divan Rousseau is an out-and-out fullback, something that the Lions are struggling without at the moment, with no chance Swanepoel having lost Gianni Lombard, having lost Tyron Green in the last year. You know, fullback has been a bit of an issue, and Evie FLYHALF is filled in there. Has played there a lot, mostly since he's arrived, but always sort of been a bit of a gap in the Lions side. Then off the bench, very exciting players. PJ Buerta, and then the learning from Pumas, Morgan Nordia, very, very promising young Lucid and Carly Sardi. So it's a decent two props coming off the bench. PJ Buerta needs to get a set piece right. I really struggle to understand why so many hookers are coming through and just can't do the basics like hitting your lineouts. PJ Butcher also guilty sometimes of giving away some very soft penalties, so he needs to sort out that discipline. There, Rad North Narkle, Sibasi Sangweni will cover the rest of the scrum as they have the entire URC. Morning Vandenberg, the live wire scrum off, will coming on, and then you've got a debut in waiting from Matt Moore, the former Western Province centre. He actually went to the Munster Academy straight out of school, coming from St Andrews, where he scored 45 tries in 43 games for the St Andrews first team. He then went to the Munster Academy, then went to Western Province, then went to the Pumas last year to try and get a bit of game time, or this season to try and get some game time, and has now been signed alone for the Lions. So it's an opportunity for him to try and impress and try and sort of maybe work his way into a permanent deal. And then, of course, once Silas Similani will be injecting a lot of excitement. We don't really have a fly. I mean, at the moment we've got a fill-in fly half at an era for youth. So 2 centres on the bench. Once Silas Similani can cover fullback if he needs to. So interesting to sort of see how we sort of adapt there. I reckon we probably leave Burger down for the entire game. Maybe bring on Matt Moore and put him at outside centre, or put Burger down outside centre and bring on Similani at fullback. But yeah, it's just not what the Lions need in terms of those 2 players. And I think Jordan Henry's been very impressive in the first 2 games, and he will be a massive loss for the Lions. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the game down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.